Hello YouTubers, my name's Neil and today I'm going to be quickly reviewing the brand new Crystal Maze board game which has literally only just come out. I've been quite lucky to get hold of this actually because it's not actually hit the shelves yet. It's just come off the production line and this is probably one of the first batches that's just come out. I had to reserve it at WH Smith and click and collect to collect it. But anyway, here we are, the Crystal Maze board game, based upon the original series and the brand new series, so both from the 90s with Richard O'Brien, Edward Tudor Pole, and then the new series with Richard Awadhi. This is fantastic. I've been waiting so long for this to come out, and it's probably one of the best board games I've owned, not just because I like the Crystal Maze, but it genuinely is a fantastic, ingenious game, and I'm going to quickly give you a sneak preview now as to why this is a fantastic board game. So first of all, I'm just going to read the back of the box. It says, "Hello adventurers and welcome to the Crystal Maze, where a labyrinth of perplexing puzzles and tricky challenges lie in wait for you and for your friends and family. Teamwork is paramount as you voyage through the 4 themed time zones, packed with a medley of mental mystery, skill and physical games. Success is recorded in the shape of time crystals, and the more crystals you win, the more time you'll get to spend scrambling for gold tokens in the game's furious finale. Who will pit their wits against the mind-bending mental puzzles, and who is plucky enough to tackle the fiendish physical trials? Let the games begin." So there you go, there's the back of the case. It's a massive board game, lots of pieces, really well laid out and designed. There's so many little mini games you can do, and I'm going to quickly talk about them shortly. And it also comes with a app that stands alongside the game. There's no games on the app, but this is used as a timer and for sound effects, which I'll quickly show you shortly. So, opening the box, and to be honest, I'm amazed that they were able to fit all of these components inside this small box. Because from the outside it looks like nothing, it's just a tiny little box. But it must have been a Crystal Maze game in itself for them to pack all these little pieces into this box. So let's open it up. So, you've got Maze Master's Manual. You've got the actual board game itself, which I'll show you. It opens up with the 4 zones. This is quite a massive board game actually. And so that's the maze itself. Opens out into the maze where you put all the decks of cards on the different areas of the zones, which is fantastic. This is awesome. You've got places to put all your crystal pieces. See, medieval, futuristic, Aztec, industrial. And then on the back, you've got the Crystal Dome finale, which is like a background of like all the tokens flying around in the air, the silver and gold tokens. It's absolutely fantastic. Look how big it is. It's awesome. So there you go, that's the board game itself. You've then got all the mini games. You've got a set of rules. This game does take quite a while to set up, to be honest, because there's a lot of pieces that you need to set up. Lots of pieces, so you'll probably need about half an hour after you bought this game to get it ready for playing with friends and family. So that's the Crystal Dome rounds. They're all the individual games, and this is just how you set up the game basically. And all the individual game pieces themselves and the board games, they're all reversible with different games on the back as well. The creator of this board game, who I've got on my emails, did stress to me that the most important role about this board game is being the actual maze master you'll set themselves, because you'll be guiding your players through the maze just like you would on the TV show. There you go, if you didn't notice already, there's an actual crystal from the original 90s show. I actually was really lucky to test the games for the new series this year, which was awesome. But anyway, so this is the Maze Master book. In this book, it explains how to do various games which are featured inside the board game. You've got Aztec games, Gag the God games. So there's Gag the God. With various balls you have to use. You have to hide Aztec artifacts around the house. To find them just like you would in the Crystal Maze. You've got mental games in industrial to do, with egg timers and cards and pens to use. You've got puzzles to build in industrial with cogs. They're all quite easy to set up. So there's another word game, All these parts are included. You've got a physical game where you've got to strike the cup with the Richard O'Wardy's hand. This also doubles as the hand to collect the tokens in the Crystal Dome at the end. If you see another one of my YouTube videos, you'll actually see this being used. These hands have got Richard O'Wardy's hands, got suckers on the end. You can use these for gameplay, but also to pick up all the iconic silver and gold tokens in the dome as well. And I think that's such a great idea. Look at that. So there's four of them that are included. So you can play with other people or in case one breaks. So let's see what other games we've got then. So we've got a futuristic game with a circuit game, just like the original show. You've got riddle games, which I always love. And you've got the answers here as well when you're playing the Maze Master. You've actually got a cube game here, and that is inside the box. That is here inside this little box to play. You've got a beaker and balls to play various games inside this game. You've got traditional dice. What's more important is the miniature plastic crystals, which look fantastic. They look very realistic, multifaceted, really good detail. I'm really impressed with them. That's the most important part. What else have you got? So there's other games. I don't want to spoil it too much for you. The games here are fantastic. They're really good. They've obviously spent a lot of time putting this together. So this is, just for this camera focus. So there's various pieces inside the board game. They give you these plastic wallets so you can put them all away, which is quite good for organisation and so you don't lose them. That's a really good point. There's other cards here as well. You've got the gold and silver tokens for the Crystal Dome round, which are massive. They're a lot bigger than I thought they were going to be. See? So on this side you can't see them. They lay down like that, so you can't see if they're gold or silver when you pick them up, to make it a bit more realistic when you're playing the actual dome round itself, which I think is really cool. You've got a pen to help you do some of the games. You've got an egg timer and traditional dice, but you won't need this. I'll show you why in a second. I just think it's fantastic. So here we are. Here's the individual game pieces. You've got Gag the Gods. You've got Mental Industrial game on the back. You've got another medieval game here. Like a card type game. Industrial cog game. Medieval Aztec symbol game. You've got a futuristic mental game here. You've got another Aztec game and an industrial skill game. And there's also many more physical type games inside the book. I'm not going to ruin them for you. They're quite cool. They're ingenious, to be honest. So you have to buy the board game yourself to see what I mean. But it's such a great board game. I'm not just saying it because I like the Crystal Maze. You know, it really is well thought out. But so then you've also got these cards as well. So you've got A-list automatic lock-in situation cards. Obviously, just plays like the TV show, where if you mess it up, basically you get locked in. You've got futuristic riddle cards, which are really good. Aztec riddle cards. Symbol cards for the games as well. There's just so much to this game. It really is absolutely fantastic. It's good. You know, you can play this for hours. You know, I'm not going to get bored of this game. It's really good. So I've not even played it yet. I'm going to be playing it with my girlfriend next week, but I've had a quick look at all the parts, and I'm really impressed. And I can't believe I'm one of the first people to have this game. But I'm such a massive Crystal Maze fan. I just had to get this first. So let me show you the awesome part about this game. So the app. This is an app you can download to go with the board game. It's on the Apple Store or Android Store, and it's free to download because it works with this game. Just search for the Crystal Maze Game Timer, and this is what you've got. Let me turn up the volume a bit. So you've got the 4 zones. You can pick which zone you're working in. And basically, for each zone, you've got sound effects and the timer for each zone. So that's the futuristic zone. You can flick to Aztec, press Aztec. You've got the Aztec jungle sounds. I'll put it a bit louder. So when you're playing a game, you can adjust the time to 3 minutes as well. Futuristic, I've showed you that one, haven't I? Let's show you industrial. Industrial. Medieval. So you can adjust the time, 2 or 3 minutes. And then the best part about this is, so you go back to the zone map, basically. Slow it down a bit. And obviously the Crystal Dome finale. So press the Crystal Dome. And now, depending on how many crystals you've won whilst playing this board game, you can choose between 1 and 8 how many crystals you won. You can even pick 0 if you didn't win 0 crystals. And I'll let you find out what happens if you just do 0 crystals. So let's go with, say, 4 crystals. And then obviously you turn the board game around, you put the tokens on, and each player gets one of these hands with suction cups. And you have to grab as many as you can in that certain time. So, the Maze Master will press start. Will you start the fans, please? Plays the sound effects and shows you how much time you've got left. So how cool is that? I've never seen a board game before that has an app tie-in so cool as that. With the original sound effects of such an iconic show, it's fantastic. And I'm actually quite lucky, obviously, because I'm such a big Crystal Maze fan. I've got the original jacket, I've got some crystals from the show, from the old series and the new series. I actually wore an original jacket from the 90s series in the new Crystal Maze studio this year when I tested it, which is really cool. So I'm a bit of a Crystal Maze geek, but I'm not afraid or ashamed of that, to be honest, because it's such a great show. But the inner geek inside me, obviously I can play with real crystals if I want to. You can do what you like, basically. That's what I like about the creativity with this game. But as I've showed you before, I'm really lucky that I actually acquired an actual futuristic timer from the original 1990s Crystal Maze studio a few years ago, and it still works if I plug it in. This is from the 90s. So I can even play some futuristic games with the actual future timer from the original Crystal Maze. How cool is that? It's just epic. So yeah, I'm just so happy and so pleased with how this board game has turned out. They've done a fantastic job, Rascals. It's available to buy on Debenhams website or in store, John Lewis on the website or in store, or Deutsche Smith on the website or in store. So I think this is going to be a good hit at Christmas, you know. It's such a great game. The Crystal Maze is always a fantastic show. It never fails to sell or get viewers. So let's keep the Crystal Maze going. I want more series of the Crystal Maze, so let's keep the popularity going. Thank you for watching my review, and comment on my YouTube video. Let me know what you think of this awesome game. Cheers.